Shel. Welcome to the channel. And today we're going to talk about diet. Alright? This is my friend, cameraman Zach Holder. We're going to discuss diet. Alright? Okay, we're going to pretty much talk about, kind of go into details of how he's adjusted to the diet, why he did it, and what's the goal for it. Alright? So, here we go.
As I said, my name is Zach. He's put me on a diet that is pretty low in calories, but there is good reason for that. I've been working out consistently I've always been active, but kind of doing bodybuilding type exercises / lifestyle. I've been doing that for about 7 years now. So I'm very familiar with it all. But when you're not like preparing for a show or don't really have some kind of set deadline and you're just kind of doing it for yourself, you tend to fall off the wagon when it comes to diet and nutrition. So that's definitely happened to me a few times. Now there was a time when I was, a lot better shape and I could almost see all of my abs and I looked great in my opinion. But, like I said, as time goes on, you start to lose track of that. So I'll get to that point where I'm eating nothing but pizza and cheeseburgers and just drinking soda, and I'm still working out, and in my head I'm just kind of validating it. It's like, oh, dirty bulking, and just trying to make gains that way. So when he put me on this diet, it's about 1,400 calories. The carbs are very low. They're 77 grams, and I'm on 200 grams of protein, 35 grams of fat. So knowing when I was looking at the diet and I saw how much or how low it was, I knew that my biggest hurdle wasn't going to be the hunger, because hunger is whatever. You can drink water and you feel fuller. Granted, it goes away quick. But
absolutely.
Yeah, but you drink that, you feel fuller. That's fine. The hunger is not the issue. What the issue is for me always is getting rid of sugar.
Right.
Because if you go from drinking a freaking gallon of sweet tea a day to drinking nothing that has sugar in it, your head will hurt like crazy. So for the first day of the diet, I did break and have a soda, because it's like, sugar is essentially a drug.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. So your body goes through withdrawals when you're not having it anymore. So I had that one soda, and I could have probably had more to make it easier to wean myself off of it.
Right.
But I knew that I could just, it's all good. But I knew that I could just deal with the pain a little bit longer and get through it. So I had the one soda, and then after that, haven't had any sugar since. I'm sure there's like a little bit of sugar in the tiny bits of sauce that I use.
Right.
So negligible that it doesn't happen. And now for my caffeine intake, I'll have black coffee because there's like maybe 5 grams of carbs in it, and if you're drinking a lot.
If that, it depends on the ounces.
Or I'll have like one of these. This is like one of those sugar-free workout energy drinks or whatever, and there's no calories in it, and it gives me enough caffeine and puts me in a better mood and whatnot to get everything done that I have to do throughout the day.
Right.
So tell me, so to go over it real quick, my diet is essentially 1 whole egg, 1 cup of egg whites, a half a cup of oatmeal, that's the first meal. Second meal is 5 ounces of cooked chicken. So chicken weighs more, everything. Once you cook it, it weighs less after it's cooked.
Right.
So 5 ounces of chicken, and then a cup of veggies. I've been doing a mix of broccoli and carrots, and I just, microwave them and they're fine. Put a little bit of salt on them. And third meal is a 2-scoop protein shake, a handful of almonds. Fourth meal is 5 ounces of cooked chicken with 4 ounces of cooked sweet potatoes, another cup of veggies, and then my fifth meal is half a cup of egg whites and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter.
Yep.
And that's really, really, it sounds like a lot when you say it out, but
when you spread it out, you might think like, oh, holy cow, that's a lot. But throughout the day, once you get in that food intake into you every 2 to 3 hours, it pretty much it eliminates the hunger. It kind of speeds the metabolism up a little bit.
And that's another thing though, is like regulating when you're gonna eat. It's not something that you can just know right off the bat. I've had a good base of knowledge going into this because I've done this before.
Right.
So I knew that even though the typical thing is eat every 3 to 4 hours or 2 to 3 hours or something like that. So I know that I've got it with that small amount of food, and I can't go to sleep on an empty stomach. Luckily, my last meal is very light. It's very light in carbs. I think there's like 10 grams of carbs in that, not even in that tablespoon of peanut butter. So I'm not worried about putting on or storing any of that as fat while I'm sleeping. But putting that on, towards the end of the night, like I know that I have to eat that maybe 30 minutes to an hour before I go to sleep, or it's gonna be miserable for me to try to fall asleep because I'm just gonna be so hungry the whole time.
Right.
So, that being said, it's a lot of trial and error, figuring out what times you need to eat at and what works with your schedule. Because like when I go to work, I'm there in the evenings and they don't really want us eating food there. So I have to kind of sneak away and have one of my meals, which I just do the protein shake and a handful of almonds, because real quick, no one even notices me doing it. But what I'll do is if I ate my breakfast, say 7 hours before I went to work, and I know that I'm gonna be super hungry at work, then I'll wait and push my second meal up as close to right before I go to work as I possibly can. That way I'm less hungry at work, and then I can kind of stagger my meals more so towards the end of my shift, and then I'll be able to eat again whenever I'm off work and ready to eat again.
So you guys do get like 5 to 10 minute break?
Not my job, no. We because our shifts are really short anyway, because it's food and beverage, so it's whatever.
So pretty much what he's pretty much saying is, whatever your occupation is, or what are you doing, you just kind of have to game plan and just kind of figure out how you're going to be able to get those meals in, right?
Yep, and that is the same thing that every single person that talks about diet and nutrition will harp to you about 24/7 is planning. If you that's where I think it was Kai Green in one of his videos before he was preparing for a bodybuilding show says this is where most people fall off with their diet, because they forget to have their meals ready and they get hungry and then they just go for whatever they can. But it's common sense. You're gonna get hungry. So you have to just think about it in advance. And I mean, to briefly go over how I cook my food, and I do it in a way that almost seems unhealthy, but it's not. I cook my chicken in the oven, but I bread it. I don't use any kind of crazy oil. I just use a light dusting of breadcrumbs, bake it, and I dice it up into little squares like that big, so it cooks super quick. Total preparation time for that is maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes, and that'll last me for 2 to 3 days. And if you can't spare 30 to 40 minutes, I mean, I just don't think you're prioritizing your time in that.
So for the most part, as far as food wise and how you prepping for your food, are you prepping one day, or are you prepping 2 days, or how are you doing that?
I'll prep. It's kind of hit or miss. It's not an exact science, because I just know that I know about, because this is again experience doing this before. I know about how much I'm gonna get out of certain amounts of chicken. So I'll go to the store, get a raw pack of chicken that's probably a little over 2 pounds. That'll probably get me 4, maybe 5 meals, and if I've got some left over, then it adds in as well. So I just get a 2 pound pack of chicken, and then I just take it home and immediately cut it up, and then it's about 2 to 3 days that I'll have in advance, and that makes it pretty easy, because then also that's another thing, when you're eating chicken, it's really it gets that bad consistency of almost like you're eating an eraser. That's if you keep it too long. If it's 2 days, then you're good.
Usually, so what he's basically saying is, whatever your situation are as far as job wise, things like that, rather you gotta get up early in the morning, or rather you got a night shift, just always plan a day ahead. So let's say, for example, if you want to cook for 2 days, if you have Sunday off, you can cook for Sunday. Just prepare for Monday and Tuesday. Just to kind of keep on track, and then you can just reload with try again cooking on Wednesday for Thursday and Friday. So it's just plenty of it's more ways to do it. I know a few people they will cook for a day. They will just cook for a day and roll out, and then the next day they're cooking again.
I've done that before. I've done just one day in advance. In the morning, I would just wake up an extra
Yeah,
hour earlier.
yeah,
and
exactly.
Just get all my food ready for the day. And
Right.
it's pretty much still super fresh at that point. It's barely cooled down by the time
Right,
you eat it.
right.
So,
So there's you know, there's a few ways to do it, you know. Yeah.
And then I forgot the other thing I was gonna talk about.
So pretty much just what was I mean, I know you want to, you know, get healthy and you know, you want you know, you want to chase that ultimate goal, but what was the actual like drive? Like,
For me, as far as like just to look better, my dad raised me on all the action movies ever. So like, I grew up watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I thought that was, you know, how a man was supposed to look.
interesting.
I would say that is probably what has driven me mostly to look good and whatnot. It's not like, I obviously realize at this point in my life that that's not how the average person looks. That's not exactly what you're supposed to look like,
Right.
because, you know, it's an extreme lifestyle.
Right.
But it's always sits in my head, you know, like, and who doesn't want to look good? Like, everybody
Right.
wants to look good, whether it's to impress girls, whether it's to, you know, promote like a business that you're doing or something. Like, there's nothing negative about looking good unless you get your ego in the way of it.
Or it's just going to your regular family reunion. You want everybody to see, hey, you know. So it's a lot of, you know, a lot of avenues.
It
you know?
literally, I think it obviously all boils down to, you know, you caring about the opinion of other people, of yourself, but also there's other things you can look at in there as well, like, you know, wanting to kind of be an inspiration or an influence to other people. Like, I work in food and beverage, and 99% of the people that work in food and beverage do not care a single bit about their health. They go out and they drink every night, they party every night, they eat crappy food, and they complain about not looking good.
Right.
But like, even just in the recent times that I've started dieting, and just them watching me consuming a gallon of water every day, they start to ask me questions, and then they start to ask for help. And there's the chef at my job. He might be going on Hell's Kitchen soon, and he wants to slim down some for it. So I helped him with a diet and gave him, he's much bigger than me, so gave him a little bit more calories to deal with. But hopefully he sticks to that. But just like that right there, that's a small victory for me in my head, because it makes me feel like I'm helping somebody else.
Absolutely. I mean, like, and then once again, like you mentioned, like I said, you just can't cut corners. You just can't beat a bad guy. You just can't, you know. And that's just, I mean, it's, you know, that's kind of what it is, you know. So, I mean, that's basically what he's, what you were just saying, right?
Yeah, just trying to help everybody. Like, it's very easy to have a negative opinion about people who are trying to better themselves in a different way than you are. But, you know, honestly, like, this is another thing I want to touch on real quick. When you switch from eating very bad food, like, because I don't know the exact science of it and whatnot, what they put in the food to make it taste better and everything, but there are negative effects. There's no way there's not. Not just the health-wise, but like mental. Yeah, like I'm sure, like 100% sure that there's some kind of additive that they're putting into food that is causing so many people to have anxiety, have depression, and whatnot. But I'm telling you, like, the second you switch to like clean food, like when your body finally stops craving the bad food, you're in a better mood all the time. And you feel better, your mind is sharper, like you don't feel like sluggish ever.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, that's another thing, is just breaking that habit. Like, you're gonna have those cravings for something sugary, something fatty. It's just, and I mean, even still, like, you're not just gonna like switch to clean food and be like, oh, I never want to eat pizza again. But every time you think like, hey, I could eat pizza right now, or if you get a craving for pizza or something like that, or just whatever bad food, it's probably just because you're actually hungry. And you need to go eat your food. So you gotta,
or drink some water.
So that's another thing. Is like, when it comes down to the preparation, when you start getting those like hunger cravings, that's because you're not eating at the right time or something.
Absolutely.
And again, for me, I'm able to go those long periods of time, like I said, without eating, because I know that that hunger is coming. I know that I'm going to be craving that pizza, but I know to push that to the side and then just wait until I eat the right, can eat the right meal.
And like I said, basically, like I said, there's a time and place for everything. I'm not saying, oh, hey, you just can't, oh, you just can't eat this, or you just can't eat that. Pretty much saying it's the time and place for everything, pretty much, if you go all week long, stay clean, stick to a diet, sometimes there is some good benefits out of it, and you can enjoy yourself on the weekend, and then, pretty much, I just get it out your system and get back to the grind, and that's basically what he's saying, So yeah.
And touching on that, when you do have a cheat day, for those of you who don't know, there is a good reason for having a cheat day. It's not just for mental health. It actually does help you with fat loss.
Yeah.
It helps you with your body having energy to support you eating lower calories throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah.
You have a glycogen storages in your body, so the more carbs you take in, the more glycogen gets stored. The less carbs you take in, the less it gets depleted.
Right.
So on that day that you're cheating, you'll have a lot of carbs.
Yeah, a lot of carbs.
Glycogen storages go up.
Yep.
Then you take a few days off and you go back to your normal diet and get the clean one.
Yep.
And now those glycogen storages are slowly getting depleted.
Yep.
But also, when you have that cheat day, it'll spike your metabolism. Your metabolism has to work through whatever you're eating.
Yep.
It can't just not operate and not, burn that food.
Right.
So if your food is like down here, you're like on this line, and then all of a sudden you have a cheat day, your metabolism spikes up here. But the next day you go back down to here.
Right.
Your metabolism doesn't drop as quick. It goes down slowly.
Yep.
So it's burning more calories until it levels back out.
So it's like pretty much like adding flame to the fire, adding wood to the fire, kind of burning. So yep, that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how you feel overall?
Overall, obviously the first few days were not great. The hunger was crazy, but my stomach, I can tell it's shrink a little bit, and I feel better as far as when I need food.
Mm-hmm.
But energy levels are fine. The first few days were pretty bad on energy levels, again, because my body was just so used to it.
Right.
But used to eating bad food. But I feel great now.
So I think the body is pretty much, as far as the body and the mind, I think everything is pretty much kind of intact now.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of coming off, where you're just eating
Whatever I wanted.
erratically, just whatever you wanted. To right now we have somewhat of a structure, where boom, when he's waking up, he's eating, then 2 to 3 hours again, he's eating again. So he's pretty much just kind of setting the tone for the body, but the body's literally hey, I know this meal's coming, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me,
And another thing, when we first started this, one of my meals was turkey and rice, and that was miserable for me. I couldn't do ground turkey and rice. There's something wrong with rice where it just makes my body feel miserable.
Right.
I feel sick, I can't have it. So day 2 we had to just reevaluate, and I remember that I like sweet potatoes. So we switched it out from a cup of rice with that meal to 4 ounces of sweet potatoes. And that's been perfect for me. So that, sweet potatoes may not work for you, but rice didn't work for me.
Right.
So that's another thing about it is it's not just a one size fits all thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's many different avenues. If you really have to, you can even go to lean beef and then just watch your fats from other sources.
Absolutely.
And different rice types even, or just if you wanted to do pure vegetables and just eat tons of vegetables for your carb source, if you're on a low carb diet, then that's an option as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's you gotta find what works for you as far as the food goes as well, and find a way to make it palatable as well.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're a week out from a bodybuilding show, your palatable stuff is non-existent anymore. You don't get to have a taste.
You don't need to have taste anymore.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But yeah, that's not what I'm preparing for or anything. But yeah, for I guess closing remarks, soon we're going to be starting a series documenting Chris Strickland's road to Border Clash.
That's right. He's doing the Border Clash show that's coming up in March.
Mm-hmm. So Shel's been training him, and we're gonna try to go through and document the intricacies. You guys all know the basic workout principles and dieting principles at this point.
Yeah.
But when you're preparing for a bodybuilding show, it's a lot different.
Well, pretty much it's starting from, you go on stage and all these people are looking at you and they want to know how you got there. They want to know what how did you get on that stage that way?
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much we're gonna start from day one,
Mm-hmm.
and just to see the progress and you know what we do in the time frame of what 12 weeks would look other than 6 weeks. So it's just pretty much it's a transformation of the process, the goal.
And be on the lookout for that coming up, and me as well. We're gonna do some more videos going through my transformation, adjusting my diet, what I'm doing for my workout, what my kind of like week looks like here and there, along with more training videos from Shel.
Yep.
So
Stay tuned.
yeah.
All right, guys. This is Shel. Remember, subscribe, like the video, and make sure you comment down below. All right, guys? And remember to train hard, stay dedicated, peeps. We're out.